Hola, be faithful. This is Kevin Knapp coming to you from my sunny apartment here in Berlin, Germany. This is a quarantine episode of Beats and Eats. We've been unable to get out and film around the world. I've been unable to tour and play shows and eat amazing food at all the spots that I love on the globe. So we thought we would do an episode from home today to invite you guys into our house, into our home, to see what the quarantine experience and what Beats and Eats, the home edition, is exactly like. We are fortunate to be able to shoot in Berlin this time. Get to show you two of Berlin's foodie hotspots. First off, we'll see Barra, a beautiful spot down in Neukölln, next to where a couple of the homies live. And then also in Kreuzberg, we're gonna visit Barra. So both these places are dope. Wanted to bring you into my studio here at the crib, show you a little bit about what a day in the life of Kevin Knapp is like, a little bit what the live stream situation looks like, what the setup is, let you kids into the inner workings, peek behind the curtain kind of awe stuff. And then also we wanted to show you one of the Knapp family recipes. Been in the family, I don't know, 35 years, something like that. It's an Asian flank steak surprise for you. Can't wait for you to come check it out with us. Get in the kitchen, let's grub. This is what humanity is. My finger on the pulse. The truth is, I'm just a
What are we making tonight?
Great question. So there is a Chinese barbecue flank steak with Chinese five spice and fermented black bean, which is just essentially one of my favorite ingredients on the planet. It's been in our family for about 30 years. We're doing a Szechuan green bean, which I'm happy about. I think that's what you're up to this evening. And then Judy Knapp's fried rice, which is absolutely ridiculous, which is Chinese sausage and shrimp, and then a mystery ingredient that I'm gonna have to figure out how to keep off camera.
Barra is usually like a small buzzy restaurant here in Chile. We're very much focused on produce, seasonality. Barra is currently somewhat of a friary. So yeah, of course, because of the current corona pandemic, we're only able to operate during the day as a takeaway. So we closed on the 14th of March, and then kind of like revamped the concept a little bit and reopened on the 16th of March, selling food to takeaway, one of them being the fried chicken sandwich.
The fried chicken sandwich came about when we had to close the restaurant on the Saturday because of a lack of staff. So obviously we were closed on Saturday, and we had to close on the Sunday, and it was like, alright, so we're going to be closing now for the foreseeable. What are we going to do in the meantime? And there was no like light bulb moment, or
There wasn't even a discussion.
there was no discussion. I mean, I was at home on the Sunday, like, what are we going to do tomorrow? What sells? Fried chicken. What's the best way to eat it, to take it away, put it in a sandwich? So we just started. I came into work on the Sunday, made the buns, ordered chicken in for the Monday, and then we just did it. There was no.
There wasn't even another idea.
It was just, let's do something. I mean, we didn't know what to expect. I was like, okay, how many should we make? I was like, I'll make 10 sandwiches, and if they go, they go, and if they don't, then we'll think of something else. Harry was like, make a few more. So in the end, the batch of brioche that would fit in our mix and make 30 sandwiches, and that's what we did. And we came in, we made it, put it together, put a post on Instagram, and sold out in an hour. And they were just like, alright, well, this works. Let's do it again tomorrow. So we did.
With double the number.
So we made 60, and then it's just gone through the roof to the point where we can't really, as much as we want to change, we can't change and do something else because we've got a concept that is working.
I'm dancing with the devil. I'm dancing with the devil. I'm dancing with the devil.
Yeah.
I think we're more about like the kind of indie post-punk not too intense for service, but yeah, we're definitely all about the guitars, a little bit of light electronica. Yeah, I'd say that's the style.
Going into a restaurant and just having the tackiest music, and it's loud and it's, you know, it's uninviting, and there's nothing. It doesn't matter how good the food is, but if there's that painful,
Din.
excruciating, yeah, sometimes it can be. It's just it puts me off. The main playlist that we used to play in the beginning, to the regiment playlist, it was mainly done by Kerry, and then I hijacked it a little bit. There was only a very few. I don't know if there's any songs that Neil put onto it, but I think on the most part, I don't know, I'm just speaking for me now, I think on the most part Neil enjoys the playlist, but there's a few tracks on there where he's like, I cannot fucking, what's that? There's a section in the playlist where you call it the what section?
Georgia and I call it the Death Zone.
I think we played the horrors.
There's just 2 songs on this playlist. Like, I mean, honestly, like most of their music.
It's the horrors and the dirge. You don't like any emotionally intense kind of post-punk music.
And then I also have a playlist which there's like a couple on it that Daniel certainly hates. Kerry, I was actually told quite strictly, you've got to take that song off the playlist. We can't play that in the restaurant. I can't say it. I can't even tell you the name of the song, but I can't tell you the lyric on it in it.
Go on.
No.
No,
You know the one I mean.
Also in this episode, we meet Yanni, Berlin's queen of cold pressed juices and owner of Better. Previous work for her at Barra, Bar, and The Barn positioned her uniquely to be able to supply restaurants of that echelon, of that ilk, here in Berlin with cold pressed juices. Can't wait for you guys to see what she's up to.
Better is my shop. First and foremost, a juice shop. It's an abbreviation for Back to the Roots, which I believe is the main mission statement of this place, is to provide fresh enzymes, vitamins, minerals in the way that we should be consuming them. At Better, we basically make nut milks and juices in cold pressed fashion. So that means none of the fibers of the plants get heated up. So what you're getting is like a 500 milliliter bottle or 300 milliliter bottle of raw and alive nutrition essentially. And we only use organic vegetables, and we try and use mostly regional produce from around Berlin.
Once the COVID-19 regulations started to come through from a political level, Berlin is notoriously bad at following rules, but you could tell that in this situation people were starting to take it seriously, and so did we, and we decided to basically promote the wearing of face masks, especially inside the shop. So we're selling them and my staff are wearing them, and we are keeping the 1 in, 1 out rule in the shop as well, because that prevents close contact, as well as keeping the shop squeaky clean. So we're constantly disinfecting and making sure that anything that a human touches is wiped with homemade disinfectant.
The community vibe is the biggest and best side effect of everything that's happened for me personally. The example of community that I'm talking about is I drink a lot of wine in my free time. I like to go eat at nice restaurants, and the people that are running those restaurants and selling those wines are currently unable to do those things themselves. So I am doing it, / I'm also drinking a lot of the wines. But we're selling some wines at the shop that Daisy from Soma Wines has delivered to us via her delivery courier choice, because she's stuck in France. And Barra restaurant has been using our lemonade base now for over a year to provide alcohol-free beverages to their very discerning customers.
So, welcome into my home studio. Actually have a real studio about 30 minutes away in Reinickendorf, just north of Wedding here in Berlin. A lot of hip-hop DJs have studios up there. We're very excited about it. Signed a lease in the beginning of March. And then 2 weeks later, repacked everything that we packed to set up there to bring home, because we had no idea how long shelter in place would be in place, aka lockdown, and as it were, it still is. So that was a good decision. One of my latest projects that I've been doing is with my love and fiance, Hutch-tastic, who I'd love to introduce you guys to when you check it out. Hey, so I have Hutch here with me.
Hi.
And I want to show you guys a little secret that we've been cooking up actually since we've been locked down. Let's check it out. So, do you want to tell them a little bit about what's going on there?
So you may or may not have caught it. The lyric on this track is food, drugs, genitals in my face, which is just a cheeky little something I thought up back in 2014, thought would make a good t-shirt, but nothing ever came of it because I'm not a t-shirt manufacturer, don't have a clothing brand. But Kevin and I have been collaborating. This is probably our third or fourth track that we've worked on at least, and I thought it would make a good dance floor banger.
Yeah, and I agree, and I'm super stoked about the fact that it's with us, and it's something that we've created together since we've been locked down, turning challenge into opportunity. And speaking of opportunity and what to do with downtime, we've been hard at work getting our new record label together. You want to tell them the name there?
Yeah, so we have a new project we're launching called Plump Records that we're pretty stoked about.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff. Super into the sound of the label and into what our vision for the music community that we'd like to create and the musical sound palette that we'd like to offer to the world. What we think that looks and sounds like. And it's quite possible that this will be one of the records that comes out first, if not the first record that we put out. So you've heard that here first, and we're happy to share that with you guys.
So as we all know, clubs are obviously closed. A lot of DJs have been turning to the internet and live streaming to continue to be able to share music. How has that been for you?
Yeah, it's been great actually. I didn't realize how inspiring and what's the word, satisfying, how much I needed cathartic. How cathartic it's been to be able to continue to share music. So I think the hardest part of the situation, other than doing it all from one room, was the name. And so Captivity Cuts is what I've been calling my live stream. And it's been great fun to do it, and great fun I think to do it with you.
They be saying, ain't size as a dog in the fight. Well, I ain't never come across a smaller
So I tried to get most of the mise en place done today so that we could shoot this, but we still have left, per usual, in typical Knapp-tastic style. A few things have yet to be completed. So fortunately, we found a local wine guy that does natural wines around the corner, Marco. I believe the last name is pronounced Callegrio. I'll have to really ask for a tutorial on that. But so he's given us a natural white here, which we're enjoying. You meet him, of course, in this episode, which is wonderful.
I'm here with Levante by Danny Bini. Danny Bini is a young winemaker from Emilia-Romagna, and this is a Malvasia. Is a petnat, so a white wine during fermentation. Is bubbly, easy drinking. I think it's perfect for the summer, or why not for a party.
Yeah, so you mentioned that this flank steak recipe has been in your family for 30 years. Obviously, that means it's coming from the famous Judy Knapp. She's been a huge culinary influence for you. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it's actually even emotional to talk about her a little bit today because this is her first day post-work. She retired yesterday, so Love her very much. Love her sense of food as much. She is a hell of a cook, hell on wheels in the kitchen, and all of my culinary perspective really comes from her. At least that was the foundation of where I'm at today, and it's great to be cooking this dish that's from her and be turning on the rest of the world to it.
I remember when we became friends. 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 I remember how you was down way back then. When our show was done, you was mad cool.
So yeah, that's what dinner at Kev's house is like, at least the quarantine edition. It's interesting, I wanted to mention one more thing about what's happening globally in the food delivery gastro landscape, and also here in Berlin, fortunately. So Hutch and I, last weekend I believe it was, ended up having Mrs. Robinson's, a place here in Berlin, deliver a meal to us that was some high-end dry aged steak and some butter that was to die for that still lives in the fridge, etc. The items themselves weren't as important as the effort and the care that were given. It was like receiving a care package and a hug, literally in the instructions for the joint cook that they hoped that we would be able to avail ourselves of, either with a friend or a romantic partner or what have you. It started out with an instruction to give whoever you were with a hug and to try to hold that embrace for 30 seconds. And then to start cooking from there. And in the process of that hug, to try to do as much as you could to sort of not busy your mind. And I just found that really amazing. We did it when it was delivered, we cooked the next day. And I sort of insisted that we do it again because it was a nice reset button. And I think in this time when we're not allowed or being told that we can't touch each other, to have someone that's vetted and close, please don't go hugging everyone, of course, but someone that you may be seeing with some frequency, a family member or what have you, the moment to do that and then to sort of just forget and or remember for a little bit what things were like or can be like, or will be like rather, when they continue, was a great moment. And then of course we cooked. The cherry on top, the piece de resistance, is the playlist, again, food and music, was cultivated by someone associated with Oscar Ton. And for those of you that don't know what that is, it's of course the record label for Fahrenheit. So it was a very Berlin experience. I won't say that the tunes that we heard are exactly things that I've been to, but it did remind me of being in a gastro place here in Berlin. And that is that they set out, what it was they set out to do is exactly what it achieved. So they're just one of many that are doing those types of things both in this town and around the world. So I highly encourage you to support the gastro community and indulge, and I think that you'll find that they're supporting you as well. I felt very supported with what we got from them. That being said, happy to have had you, happy to show you a little bit of what we're about, what Hutch and I are about, and to share our home with you and to speak to you in a time when I know things are challenging. Really appreciate you coming by and having virtual dinner with us. Check out the other episodes of Beats and Eats. San Francisco's out, Costa Rica's out. You should look at those if you're bored, if you have time in front of the screen. I imagine at this point you do. And please look forward to the next projects that we're doing. We insist, plan on sharing this with you as much as we possibly can. Thanks for joining us.